But when you actually look at what I mean, like you said that you think Chelsea's performance this year in the Premier League has been the worst by a Premier League side ever. Based on
what you go from third and world champions to 13th, and you've spent 600 million doing it. In the last 9 games of the season, if it spread that over the whole season, so it's a quarter of the season, you'd have finished on 20 points. That is pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. I have no other word for it. And the whole thing's just a disgrace. It's a shambles. I mean, players that you think have got more about them. I mean, Mudryk. I spent 80 million quid. He looks like he never played football before in his life. Honestly, my granddaughter, Miss, she could have put that one in. I promise you.
Yeah, it
was pathetic.
It was. Yeah, he opened up his body up a touch too much, didn't he? He just he just put his foot through it. Really.
I'm sure every fan, every talkSPORT listener's got a player in their team that you just think, God, I never want to see you again.
Yeah,
never. He looked like he was playing in stocking feet, and he played like that. And the first guy, Casemiro's just like looking at him. Why don't you just watch him head the ball in, mate? God, it's pathetic.
Honestly, I mean, it's true. When you look at, I mean, the one that shocked me, I saw a stat, and I mean, I should have realised really, but only relegation threatened Everton, rock bottom Southampton, and Wolves have netted fewer than Chelsea's 37 in the league this season.
But you've got players like Cucurella. Apparently, he's played 1,000 minutes more than Lewis Hall, but Lewis Hall's created more chances in his time than him. I mean, player after player after player, it's just chronic. I mean, you think to yourself, how bad is David Fofana if he can't get a chance over HAVERTZ? And when he comes on, you think, oh, I see, yeah, he is that bad.
Yeah, he didn't have the best of nights, did he? Really? The pen and
that's supposed to be the recruitment team's effort. I mean, you look at him, you think, how's that an answer to Chelsea's striking problems? A bloke is a sort of Batshuayi light. Really? It's just, and what's the point of taking Mudryk off and bringing on Pulisic, who's going? The only thing I look at it this way.
Yeah. Well, you are taking off a bloke who looks like he's never played football in his life,
that's
according
true, but
to
it's not going to help him. They've got some very, very good players.
Yeah.
Lewis Hall's been a plus. Enzo Fernandez is obviously a very, very good footballer.
Yeah.
Lovely passing range. They've got a nucleus of very good players, and if they can do the right thing with the recruitment team and give Poch a chance, I'll know if he turns up on the start of training pre-season and he's got 30 players to deal with, forget it. He's got to have 22 players plus 3 keepers, and that's it. And that's what Lampard should have done. He should have gone in there and said, right, I'm going with these 20 players. The rest of you can train with the kids. I'm not going to even look at you. Bomb squad. I'm not going to even look at you. And he's picked a different lineup every single game.
Yeah.
He should have tried to find a good 11 and kept playing them. Yeah, honestly, you're just beside yourself. And you look at João Felix. I mean, really... Felix, whatever you want to call it.
You've got a third way. Andy Jacobs' third way. Felix.
Yeah. But he's in a good team. He's obviously quality.
Good finish last night,
very good goal. But, not right for Chelsea and not right for the Premier League.
But it looks like they're going to buy him.
No.
No, you don't think so?
I don't think so. And I'd sell Gallagher a long time before I'd sell Mount. But if he wants to go, what can you do?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, Lampard, for the first time, you really wish he'd almost come out, and he's been very loyal to the ownership, really, because he sort of hinted at the fact that
I think it's now that it's been self-preservation for quite a while, hasn't it? Because his reputation in this has been a disaster.
It's been a disaster, and we're much, much worse than we were under Potter. But on the other hand, what I said to you way back, this team's not fit.
Yeah.
It's so clearly obvious. And he sort of hinted at that last night. He said the standards aren't there, the standards of fitness. They can't. Every team that plays them outruns them. Every manager that plays them knows they're going to win because it's just,
So what does that say about Thomas Tuchel and subsequently what's happened?
A lot of blame goes to him, getting rid of all the strikers. A lot of blame goes to the previous regime for squandering the academy. Players like Billy Gilmour should never have been allowed to go, but they should have been developed for Chelsea. What are they going to do with Colwell? Are they going to mess that up as well? I really, really need to stop wasting these wonderful talents that they've got, for older players that aren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
It's simple, really. It is a simple game. It's a simple formula. They've just got to trim the squad down and give Pochettino a chance. If they do that, they're not going to challenge. If they finish in the top 7 next year, that will be a massive improvement.
It does kind of throw a bit of a light on what Newcastle owners have done, a kind of fairly steady investment.
How to do it.
But new owners often come in. Abramovich was the same. You don't really know the business. You come in and have a big splurge and make a statement, and you'll get some right, but you'll make a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah, he made some mistakes, but these people have made a lot of mistakes, and the biggest mistake is having so many players, not getting rid of some in January. Then when they had the opportunity,
it's hard to move players on though.
Yeah,
Andy. A lot of clubs are going to find that in the summer.
They had Ziyech standing at PSG.
Yeah.
Waiting to go, and they couldn't manage to get the fax machine working or whatever they did. It's a disgrace. I don't think it comes
down to that anymore.
But it's disgusting. Yeah. And so you had this bloke comes back to Chelsea. He's a miserable so-and-so at the best of times, really. Let's be honest.
How do you know? You've never met him?
Look at his face.
As
Barry Davis would say.
Just look at his face.
Just look at his face.
Fair enough.
Seriously, look at him.
Right.
And you think...
He doesn't strike me as having a miserable face.
Oh, he does. He's a presence, isn't he? He's like a real downer. You don't want him... What do you want him hanging about thinking he could have gone to PSG? Yeah. He has to come back to this. And yet you're still bringing him on.
Do you think he mopes around the changing room?
Well, I don't know that.
And all the boys are laughing. Oh, no, Hatim's come in. It sucks all the joy, all the oxygen masks fall out the train.
I follow him on Instagram, and I'd safely say there's not one photo of him smiling the whole time.
Is that why you follow him, on the off chance he might start smiling?
I can't remember why I started following him in the beginning.
He's a kind of joy vacuum, is he?
Well, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And Havertz, when he comes off, do you see like he was annoyed when he came? You think, what? You haven't put even... I've tried harder than you in this game.
I can't get over the hump of Havertz looking like Buster Keaton. It really
like
does. It's one for the teenagers. I'm always waiting for...
he doesn't go to Arsenal. You can hang off that clock.
That's Harold Lloyd.
Oh, sorry.
I'm always waiting for
me silent movie stuff.
Well, it's easy done. 03717. I'm just waiting for a house to fall on him, but he kind of doesn't get hurt because the window's open.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think? Can you see it, Buster Keaton?
Yeah, I can actually.
There we are, kids. Go and check it out. I was your great granddad.
I've no doubt that if Kai Havertz went to Bayern Munich and played for them next season, he'd be a success.
Yeah.
He's obviously a good footballer, but in this league, in this team, forget it. And every manager's picked him, and he's cost you your jobs. What did I say about 4 managers ago? This bloke's a manager killer, and he is.
Do you think they were right, Andy, to call off the Player of the Year awards?
Absolutely.
I was being slightly facetious there. Would you have gone?
No.
I'd love to have seen you go.
The thing is,
it's been fantastic.
I was going on Sunday, but
being dragged out by security.
I can't go now.
You can't go on Sunday?
I can't go on Sunday.
Emotionally or physically?
No, physically, because I was going to go with my son, but he's got to look after the kids. And so we're all going to be together. That's fine. I said to him, I feel a bit guilty. This is a very interesting thing that he said to me last night. I'll read it out to you because it is, I think a lot of fans will feel like this.
Yeah.
Because I said to him, I feel guilty we're not going on Sunday, you know, because as a fan, you want to, say goodbye to people like Azpilicueta, who deserve it, have been a brilliant servant, and wish good riddance to the ones that deserve to go.
Yeah.
So I said...
It's always nice to go somewhere and say, good riddance.
Well, it's true.
Yeah. Give him a send-off. Yeah.
Ziyech.
Yeah.
Pulisic.
He won't give you a smile, obviously.
Pulisic. Has every bloke ever... I just don't get him at all.
Really? Fantastic. This is therapy. But all you listeners can charge him 12 guineas an hour for this. We're all up on this.
But listen to what my son says to me, and he's been going to Chelsea also for nearly 25 years now. Guilty for what, he says to me? It's a joke. Could you imagine going to any other form of entertainment when the performers put in this level of effort or respect?
Yeah.
Ballerinas not knowing the routine, or singers forgetting all the lyrics, musicians not tuning their instruments, etc. It's a joke. He's right, isn't it?
That sounds like a good night to me. Imagine that, the mousetrap, the cast of the mousetrap saying, you know what? We might just knock off 5 minutes. You'll never find out who did it, will you?
You bring off the butler and bring on David Fofana.
Yeah. Havertz annoyed he's led from the stage.